Namaste. Myself Triveni Khurana, Assistant Professor, Faculty Physiotherapy and Diagnostics, JVM, Rajasthan. Today we are going to discuss about documentation of records and scores. Medical documentation is important for communicating among healthcare professionals, for research, legal defense, and for reimbursements. Neurological scoring systems are used to assess the severity of illness in patients with neurological emergencies and can be used to monitor the clinical course, to document complications of therapy, and to help identify prognostic factors. There are two types of scoring systems are commonly used. These are neurological scoring system to quantify neurological deficits like the Glasgow Coma Scale or the Mini Mental Status Examination. And the second one is functional scoring system to characterize patients' abilities to perform activities of daily living, which is used to quantify the functional outcome with or without therapy, such as Canadian Neurological Score, the NIH Stroke Scale, the Modified Rankin Scale, the Expanded Disability Status Scale, the Richmond Agitation Sedation Score, and the Confusion Assessment Method. Neurological scoring is used in the critical care unit, while scores for activities of daily living are used for the outcome assessment. Intensive care units provide a service for patients with potentially recoverable diseases who can benefit from more detailed observation and treatment than is usually available on general wards. Patients may be discharged from the ICU when their physiologic status has stabilized and the need for ICU monitoring and care is no longer necessary. However, a number of patients who are successfully discharged from intensive care subsequently die during their hospital admissions. This may indicate premature discharge from the ICU or suboptimal management in the ICU or the general ward. As trends move towards earlier ICU discharge, it becomes increasingly important to be able to identify those patients at high risk of subsequent clinical deterioration who might benefit from longer ICU stays or from transfers to intermediate care units. A strategy to reduce premature discharges in patients at high risk of in hospital death could result in 39% reduction in post ICU death in these patients. It can be concluded that reliable baseline and follow up assessment is crucial to document any improvement or deterioration in neurological status of patients admitted to neurocritical care unit. Inter-rater differences may be significant, so the need for standardized neurological scales and scores comes into play. Scales seek to quantify different aspects of function within the framework of the World Health Organization hierarchy of impairment, disability, and handicap. Since the introduction of the Matthew scale in 1972, there has been a steadily increasing number of scales that seek to quantify neurological impairment. These scales involving scoring different modalities of neurological function and then sum the scores to provide an index for neurological status. These scales were developed for a various of reasons, including monitoring neurological status for improvement or deterioration and predicting final outcome in a defined group of patients. The primary purpose for these scales in neurocritical care units is to compare the baseline neurological impairment severity of patients at admission and to quantify neurological recovery over time to avoid premature discharge from the neurocritical care unit and promote early detection of deterioration and prompt management. Each neurocritical care unit should adopt a special scoring and documentation system to be used to assess and document baseline patient neurological status and status at time of discharge. These includes vital signs, those are BP, temperature, pulse, respiration and oximetry. Next is pupil size and reaction to light. Next, eye movement, which includes gaze, divergence and individual extraocular movements and nystagmus. Next, mental status, under which LOC, orientation and speech. Next, motor function, which includes state, power, tone, deep reflexes and pathological reflexes, along with coordination for upper and lower limbs if applicable. There are many scales used to assess these functions. Each critical care unit can adopt a set that can be used by its staff. Commonly used scales in clinical practice, these are for level of consciousness scale. This is Glasgow Coma Scale. It is simple, valid, reliable and for useful in the assessment of level of consciousness. And next is full outline unresponsiveness 4 score. It is easy to apply and provides more neurological detail than the Glasgow scale. This scale is able to detect conditions such as locked-in syndrome and vegetative stage, which are not detected by Glasgow Coma Scale. Next is for delirium. For detecting delirium or assessing delirium, the scale is Confusion Assessment Method, the CAM. It is an adaptation of Confusion Assessment Method, which was adapted to be a delirium assessment tool for use in ICU patients. Example: critically ill patients on and off the ventilator who are largely unable to talk. Next delirium scale is Richmond Agitation Sedation Scale. It is logical, easy to administer and readily recalled. It has high reliability and validity in medical and surgical, ventilated and non-ventilated, and sedated and non-sedated adult ICU patients. Next, screening mental status scale is Falstein Mini Mental State Examination. Next is Neurobehavioral Cognition Status Examination. It predicts gain in Barthel Index scores and unrelated to age. Next is for measuring disability, or we can say activities of daily living, and the scale is Barthel Index. It is widely used for stroke and it has excellent validity and reliability. Next scale is Functional Independence, which is FIM, Functional Independence Measure. It is also used in stroke, which measures mobility, ADL, cognition, functional communication. Next is to assess stroke deficits, and for this the scale is NIH stroke scale. It is reliable and can be administered by non-neurologist. Next scale for assessing stroke deficits, the scale is Canadian Neurological Scale. It also has good validity and reliability. Now the assessment of motor function is by Fugel-Meyer. It is extensively evaluated with a good validity and reliability for assessing sensory motor function and balance too. Next scale for motor function assessment is motor assessment scale. It assesses movement and physical mobility. Next scale for motor function assessment is motricity index. It assesses motor function of arm, leg and trunk. Now next, for assessment of balance, the scale is Berg balance assessment. It is used with stroke patients. Next is for assessment of mobility with the help of Reaver-Mite mobility index. Next, for speech and language functional assessment, the scale is Boston Diagnostic Aphasia Examination. It is widely used, it is comprehensive, and it has standardized data with a sound theoretical rationale. Other than Boston Diagnostic Aphasia Examination, speech and language function assessment, the scale used for this is Porch Index of Communicative Ability, that is PICA. It is also widely used and carefully test development, and it is standardized. Next scale in this category is Western Aphasia Battery. Next scale is Global Disability Scale, which is also useful for the assessment of speech and language functions. Along with global disability. Next, for health status or quality of life measures. Quality of life measures or health status measure, the scale used is Medical Outcome Study MOS 36 item short form health survey. It is administered by phone or interview. Next scale for health status assessment or quality of life measurement is Sickness Impact Profile, that is SIP. It is broad range of items, reduces floor or ceiling effects. Thank you.